What's going on, guys, and welcome back. We've got an impromptu video as Zabu and Silver Surfer have taken a huge nerf, and this is our first balance outside of an official patch, which is absolutely huge. We're going to talk about what exactly was nerfed, how this is going to affect Marvel Snap's metagame, which it is massively, and overall my opinions on the nerfs themselves. So here on the official Discord, I'll let you guys kind of read into why they balance and kind of how they judge which cards. But pretty much they look at win percentages, how much they're played, popularity, the stuff that they should be looking at. And for being honest, it doesn't take exactly perfect vision to know that Zabu and Silver Surfer are grossly overplayed and a little bit too strong. Now, I will say this kind of sucks that they're season pass cards. I hope they never run into this again. Personally, it's why I think MODOK and Miles Morales make a bit better season pass cards because they're more specific to an archetype. But Zabu and Silver Surfer both getting pretty massively nerfed. I think one definitely is going to get affected a lot more than the other. But they're both not going to be bad, right? Let's start there. If you guys were expecting to buy these cards in the season pass to be meta dominant forever, it just wasn't going to happen. And I think it's much healthier for the game to not have Zabu and Surfer in every other match. And it opens up deck building. It opens up competition. And overall, when you have tournaments and people are doing gentlemen's agreements to not play Zabu, it's when you know it's bad. In fact, one player got to infinite in hours this season just using a Zabu busted deck. So they kind of talk about how it wasn't a light decision. I do wish they did a kind of a goodwill gesture, and give something to the players to show that they're sorry about a season pass card. This is a chance to give credits or something like that. Really wasn't a big deal, and the fact that people did spend money on something is important. But again, these cards are still good, and let's talk about the nerfs specifically, right, guys? So let's start out with Zabu, and Zabu took a bigger hit out of the two. Let's get that out of the way. He is now going to be a 2/2 instead of a 3/2, and instead of the ridiculous 2 energy reduction on 4-cost cards, he is only going to reduce 1 energy on those cards, kind of like Sarah. Now, this is going to have a major impact, and it stops the Dracula combos and emptying your hands. They addressed specifically Spider-Man and Absorbing Man, which I don't even know how that made the initial cut, because that is definitely it's no fun for anybody. Not even for the winner, for that matter, because you're getting like 2 cubes max. So they got rid of that, albeit there's still ways to play that, but we'll get to that in a second. Zabu took a pretty big hit here. I think he's going to be more specific in the decks that you play him in. You can definitely still make 4-cost cards pretty damn strong. I think Darkhawk is still going to be amazing as you can play, him and Mystique on turn 6. So that's still an awesome play. And I suppose if you did like Quinjet and Moon Girl, you can still have yourself double Spider-Man. There's still ways that you can get these crazy combos, just not, as easy. I think Zabu's still going to be fine. I think he's going to be a good card overall and kind of fit into his own archetype and give life to some of these weaker 4-cost cards as well. But he's not going to be in every single deck. You don't snap right away if you get Zabu in hand. And this is going to change a lot. In the January's meta deck report, Zabu, it might as well have been Zabu's deck report. He was in every single deck. And for the February meta deck report, I've actually delayed making it because I wanted to see if these guys got changed. And they did. And so you guys are going to see drastic differences on this month's meta deck report, and I'm actually really excited to see how this meta shifts because it's going to pretty massively. So yes, again, pretty massive change on Zabu, and I'll have a video talking about maybe new great decks that you can still use with these 2 very strong characters at this point. I know you're probably sick of them, but it's going to be cool to see where you can use them in the future. But let's go to Silver Surfer, guys, and that's what's probably more important. Now, there's a bunch of text here. If you guys want to read this, I'll put it in the link down below. I hate making my videos just a regurgitation of exactly what they said. But for Silver Surfer, he is still a great card. He's going to be played a bit differently, but still a very solid card at that. So he is going from a 3/0 on reveal, give your other 3-cost cards plus 3 power, and he'll be moving to a 3/2 on reveal, give your other 3-cost cards 2 power. And quite honestly, I think this is perfectly fine. This is going to be a great change to Surfer, and albeit it's actually going to be nice to have that 2 extra power on whatever lane you do play him in, right? You can at least get a little power there. The +2 is going to be good. It's not going to, go crazy anymore on Brood. Maximus still goes up to 9 power, so Shang-Chi can get rid of him. And honestly, I think this is a good change. I think this is going to feel great. Surfer's going to have his own kind of play style, albeit it's going to affect a little bit of how, Sarah and the interactions in those top decks go, while still having them a great option in things like the Patriot deck. And so I actually like this change. I think they nailed this one. If you bought Silver Surfer, I don't think you need to freak out. I think this is still a really great way to play the card. And it's definitely going to shift his decks up as well. And in general, they want to try to always keep these balance changes to official patches is what they announced. And I get that, they don't want to always be doing these mid-week patches. But this is going to be huge, guys, because even the top-end players, people that are casual players, everybody kind of was sick of Zabu and Silver at this point. And what makes Marvel Snap great is creativity and creating decks that are competitive. A perfect example is this month's Season Pass card, MODOK, right? He was a good card. He does a lot of great things for the discard archetype, but he seemed underwhelming because you compare anything to the crazy powerful Zabu and Surfer seasons, and it just wasn't great, right? No matter what you did, you got slapped by Zabu and Surfer. And I think this is going to be, or was going to be the case for a lot of things moving forward, and kind of just stopped a lot of the deck creativity, unless you put Zabu in it. I think overall, this is going to be really healthy for Marvel Snap, and hopefully they never run into this kind of issue ever again. The changes are officially live. You don't have to update your patch. They're there. He's a 2-2, and Zabu has now been taken down, and Surfer has been adjusted as well. So I want to know y'all's thoughts on this. How do you think they handled it? Are you happy? Are you pissed? I want to hear from you guys, obviously, in the community. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of changes. So stay tuned for the meta deck report. Stay tuned for where are going to be the best decks to use them. And yeah, this was definitely a pop-up video. I was about to go on a run, and here we go. And until the next one, have a good one, and happy snapping.